And some of y'all may or may not agree with that, but Chase wouldn't be able to do this and have all the stuff that he has if he was just trying to be the best race car driver. This camera and all of y'all watching is what has allowed him the opportunities to have all the stuff that he has. And I promise you that. I'm not just talking because I, as a parent, gave Chase everything I was capable of giving him for many years to race with, and it wasn't enough. It was never enough.
What doesn't it have?
I don't have enough.
Huh.
Yeah.
You know? Well, welcome back, everybody. Today's Monday.
Monday.
Join us for Tuesday.
Join us for Tuesday.
You want to beat me so bad, don't you? And lose races.
A little fun.
Really? All right. Well, welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back, everybody.
I'm Chase. That's Mike. We are unloading. They're working on my Nana's house.
They need to cut that junk off. I can't even hear.
Dude, I can't even think.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't even see it so
It's on
loud.
behind you.
Yeah. So this morning, this is how our morning started out. The peat bogged down in Mama Squirrel's yard, so I'm sure she'll be real thrilled to see this. This will excite her. So, but anyways, we got a lot to do. Short week for us. I mean, it's not really a short week, but we got so much to do that we're going to be plenty busy all week. So y'all join us for that. We hope you're all having just a fabulous day, week, minute, whatever. Shout out to all these great sponsors that make it all possible. Speedy Fast for everything he does. And we're fixing to unload. We'll catch y'all in a second. We got the car unloaded. We're putting her on dollies, and then we're fixing to wash everything and then start our maintenance. Alright, so lots of really good / really big things are happening around CHR, and we've been blessed. I mean, that's just the bottom line. Hopefully it all comes into play and y'all are able to see what I'm talking about, but we're trying to make our plans for the 2025 season, trying to kind of be ahead of schedule on all of it and not, last minute on it. So y'all can place your guesses and bets in the comments below what you think it looks like or what you want it to look like. So, but yeah, more on that as we know more. Mike out here getting after it. We are going to be putting a new side and a new nose on. Because it's not, I don't know, it's not complaining, but there's just a lot of differences in what we were winning with versus where we're at now. And we wonder if aero's not some of it. We kind of patched the nose back together, and I think it's kind of hurting us a little bit. The right side's pretty mangled up. We're gonna put some new springs still there, and then the spoiler was, I knocked the spoiler off the right side, and I don't think we got it back where it's supposed to be. So all of that being said, we're going to put some fresh stuff on it, help our aero a little bit. We're gonna put some fresh springs on it, and that should be about everything on it. But like I said, we want to make sure that everything's consistent, everything's good to us, because this car has been really good. So we just want to make sure we keep it that way. So thank y'all for everything. Like I said, we'll continue to time lapse what all we got going on. All right, so we've got everything stripped down, Mikey and Rocky got everything stripped down while I did all my running, got all my phone calls in, and got our parts ordered. So huge shout out to them. So like I said, they've gotten a lot of the stuff done. And so I think what's next is for us to service everything that's on the table right here. We also are going to have to service the rear hubs. But like I said, we got everything stretched out across the table. They've got everything stretched out across the table. And I'm fixing to start working on that stuff so that we can go back together with that. We are going to heel coat this car, cap our lines off, and then pump the fuel out of it. And then this car is going out here. And that's going to be about it for that stuff, because we are going to be late model racing the next couple of weeks. So yeah, that's the latest around the shop, and we'll take y'all along for the rest.
What's up? Mike, you bowed up, ain't you? Whoa.
That's secrets right there.
Sticky icky on them.
Yeah.
Look at this new addition to the shop.
I tell them, hey, every time.
Does it scare y'all?
That messes me up.
Man, that is a good looking dude right there with a fine little puppy. The late model is stripped down as per every week. Ever since Chase monster trucked up at the mag, we feel like something's wrong, but we ain't found what's wrong yet. We're still searching, but we don't feel like everything's where it's supposed to be. So we continue, the search continues.
I'm gonna put this one back on.
Okay.
And we're gonna check the toe, and if it's 1 inch exactly,
Yeah.
then this
Yeah.
needs to be set identical.
Yeah, that's weird. Well, I mean, we're just finding some crazy stuff here that's
It just doesn't
mind-boggling,
make
that we just don't really understand how or why or what, but we'll get her figured out. And so we think we might have found something, so we will continue. So racing is a humbling sport, as we all know. And you can go from hero to zero and back to hero again in a matter of laps. And I find it interesting, you know, let's just, we put it all out there, and it's tough sometimes, because man, I hate it. But we got to put it all out there because we're trying to stay true to who we are. And I'm going to use Bobby Pierce as an example. I was watching Abby Jo Foster. I'm a huge fan of her on TikTok. That is Bobby Pierce's girlfriend, and she's one of the best racing TikTokers out there. I'll put her right up there with Avery Holland. She had an amazing video on TikTok of Bobby's win. Mike, tell me you saw her video. Dude, so I got up Sunday morning and Avery was in there wiping tears out of her eyes Adrian had tears in her eyes, and they're like, you got to watch this video. And I'm like, what in the world's going on? I knew Bobby had won PDC, so they played the video for me, and I ain't going to lie, I got emotional watching it because she is that emotional. You can feel it through the camera, and I like that. I think that's what this is all about, and that's why we do what we do, because we're trying to capture these moments and memories, and man, she nailed it. But I'm telling y'all this to say this right here. Bobby Pierce apparently had a TikTok that he disappeared from. They announced yesterday on their live that Bobby's coming back with his TikTok. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying it's easy to be on camera when you're on top of the world. And I would be willing to speculate that Bobby probably fell off after some rough times, and we all have them. You know, it's tough, it's hard. It's hard for us, and I may be totally wrong. Maybe Bobby was so busy that he just couldn't do it, but we've been so busy that I didn't want to do it, but we continue to do it. But anyway, I think it's great that Bobby's going to be back on TikTok. Hope he sticks with it. I hope they show more stuff, you know, more shop work and things like that. I think that's pretty cool, more racetrack stuff, but they do a really good job. If y'all don't watch their stuff, go check them out. Especially Abby's page. She's really cool. So I'm just talking in front of this one here because there's a lot of times he wants to cut this off. And the conversation he and I had the other day was, I told him he needs to focus on being a better YouTuber that drives a race car instead of trying to be the best race car driver that has a YouTube. And some of y'all may or may not agree with that, but Chase wouldn't be able to do this and have all the stuff that he has if he was just trying to be the best race car driver. This camera and all of y'all watching is what has allowed him the opportunities to have all the stuff that he has. And I promise you that. I'm not just talking because I, as a parent, gave Chase everything I was capable of giving him for many years to race with, and it wasn't enough. It was never enough. And people stepped in because of this camera and because of us starting out in the garage, just being a father-son working on this stuff that had more resources and money than what we had, and they saw a opportunity to help a young man, and they got on board. And you know, Eddie Smith, he reached out to us. Never met Eddie, and he was way off, you know, as far as I'm concerned. He was out of Missouri, and we're down here in South Mississippi. Started out with just a message back and forth between me and him, and we met up, and Eddie became a huge sponsor with West Trucking. And that led to several others coming on board. And then the next really big one was Ted and Shannon, you know, and they took us in. And Ted, I still remember the conversation with Ted. We thought Ted was the biggest thing that we would ever see. So it was kind of hard for me to even comprehend when he told me, I'm just trying to help y'all get to the next stage. And I'm sitting here like, dude, what you're doing, I never imagined could even be done. But Ted saw it as, I'm not even big enough to take you where you're going. Now, he has taken us way beyond where I ever imagined. And that led to other people. You know, you got Jason Nices with Champion Commercial HVAC that stepped in. So now we got Ted and Shannon with Industrial Dock and Door. Jason Nices with Champion Commercial HVAC. And several others. Like we met with Mr. GW and them this weekend from Speed Secrets, and they're out of Texas, and they've been a sponsor of ours for over a year now, and they came to watch us race and helped us out. And you got Mr. Nick Bauer with Bauer Farms, and you got just so many. You know, I could go on and on. You know, Chad Weirs with Weirs Machine and Racing Products. Just on and on. But my point is, none of this would be possible without us showing y'all everything. You know, like if we only showed when we won, nobody would care to watch anything that we do. And I'm just here to tell you, it's not easy to show everything. It is a job to do a YouTube channel. For some of those out there that's tried it, I'm sure you can relate. I'm sure there's a lot of them that thinks this is nothing to it. We'll pick up the camera and get to going with it. It's all I got to say. But it is it's a job. These guys work hard in the shop. Who knows where it's going? I don't know. Where am I going with this? I don't know. We did get a phone call yesterday.
Yeah,
the whole family was in the room. Chase told them, hey, I'm on speaker. My family's in here. And, man, I ain't gonna lie. It made me emotional. And I think it made me so emotional because right when we think that all the wind is out of our sail, what are we going to do? Adrian and I is talking like, man, how long can we sustain traveling up and down the road? How long can we keep doing what we're doing? We get a phone call like that. And this is a guy that's been in racing for many, many years. He's worked with some big, huge name drivers early on in their career and was a part of them being where they are today. And to hear him say the things he said about Chase and what he sees in Chase, you know, it's awesome. And he is currently a sponsor, and he's wanting to do more, and it just means a lot. It does. I'm telling you, I don't know where we're going with what we're talking about right now, but
sounds like we're going super racing next year.
I may have to edit that. There's still a lot of moving parts. Let's put it like that. But yes, we are looking at super racing. We do have a lot of people that's behind us. We need a lot more behind us, but I just see things opening up when I always say that, you know, you can hope and you can pray on things, but it's God's timings, and it just seems like things are just falling in place when they need to. So I'll take it. So, bottom line is, I think you need to pick up this camera. I think you need to record, good and bad, go with it. You know, even let's talk about Turbo. Me and you had a personal conversation with Turbo. Look at him on top of the world right now. And Turbo told me personally, me and him was talking, and he told me that when he was your age, he had an opportunity. I think he's 27 now. You're 20. He had an opportunity. And everybody was telling him, man, YouTube was new. They wanted to follow him around with a camera and video everything. And he was like, heck yeah. Well, then when things turned bad, he didn't want the camera on. And I get it, man. Trust me, I know. But he said now, looking back, he wish he would have, because he would be that much further ahead if he would have started way back then. And, you know, now the ship sailed kind of thing. You know, everybody's doing YouTube, and he didn't get on board way back when. Not saying you can't start a YouTube right now and get going, but it's just harder. It's tougher to get rolling, you know, right now, because everybody's doing it. But that was pretty interesting to hear somebody like Turbo say, you know, all the races I've won, you know, that's all gone and went, and how do I sustain staying here without that kind of resource, and what that would do for you. So we see it. And, you know, I know a lot of people that watch that don't understand the whole deal. They don't realize that this is a business. I mean, and y'all are the customers. So we got to give you something to watch here. And it may not be what you want to watch all the time, but it's what we got. And it may be me blabbing on about stuff you don't care about, or it may be these two knuckleheads cutting up, but it's just what we do. It's a behind the scenes look at everything. So what you talking about, super racing?
Well, I mean, it sounds to me like what we're going to be hunting, the biggest piece to our puzzle, which I don't know what we're going to do about it, is we need an engine.
You need a power plant.
Yeah, but
so chassis wise and part wise, you probably got everything under control.
Like we've got all the resources.
So here's my problem with that, and I'm not belly aching, but we're kind of in that same situation. So that some may be going, my gosh, y'all got all these cars. This car here locally, we can't even race it anymore. There's not a field of cars. It's not, you know, we can't race it locally. So I'm going to say we would have to drive a minimum of 13 hours to go race this car up north where there's actually some racing, probably further than
You
that.
can go into the Louisiana, Texas area
Occasionally.
and race it, but
Yeah, occasionally. It's not you can't just go race this car every weekend like you would want to race it. That's a USRA car. UMP car, we can go to the Midwest. We've done that. We're going to get back to that. So that little unit there, the white car, the UMP car, it's going to stay in the stables here for sure. The crate car, we've enjoyed it. It's getting harder and harder to find that competition car count. It's sad when you go to a track and you're wondering, is the cars going to be there? Yeah. Is there going to be a field of cars this weekend? We don't ever know. And then when there's not, people go, oh yeah, y'all cherry pick. No, we're going racing, but we don't know who's going to be there. There's no way of knowing that until you get there, and that's that. So super racing, same thing. There's none of that right around here, but there is a Hunt the Front series, and they look like about 20 something races per year.
25.
Is that what it is? And it's in a reasonable drive distance from us, so it's not too demanding. There's stout competition in there.
Very good.
And it is it's I mean, I think it's a good one to go get her feet wet. So may be revealing too much too soon because we don't have everything put together, but that's what I was getting at. It takes a lot of money to travel up and down the road because an engine and a car, that's one thing, but then it takes tires, fuel, maintenance parts, you know, oil, everything. I mean, there's just basic parts, changing out heims and doing things. There's a lot of other stuff to it. So we don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves and jump in and bite off more than we can chew. But as of right now, we are kind of leaning towards looking at our next step. Let's say that. We're looking at the future. And the future could be a super late model in the Hunt the Front series next year.
Ain't won a national title in anything. It's
No,
time
we
to
don't.
Go super racing.
Yeah, let's go.
What you think?
But what we will do is document it all.
Yep.
And roll the camera. And we may not be the best race driver, but we will try to be the best YouTuber that shows up. Right?
Right. Or at least run second in that.
Well,
I mean,
Mike,
we'd be doing
every
good.
time I see Mike, he was about to pick the camera up. So if I ever quit coming in before he picks it up and he starts actually picking it up, we fixing to have some content.
Yeah, we're gonna be loaded.
Because every time I come in the shop, this camera's laying on the table and he was just about to pick it up. So I'm going to start waiting a little longer before I come in, and maybe we can get on the right schedule. And Mike's going to put out the content, and y'all going to see some stuff then. We're going to get it. All right. Well, that's a whole lot of talk. So we appreciate all y'all for watching, even the haters. I mean, I read your opinion. Some of them I'm like, whatever, and some of them I'm like, yeah, it kind of got a point, you know, and that's just how it is, whatever. But either way, we appreciate all y'all because all y'all's paying the bills. So thank you. All right, lively group I got here. I feel like I'm really setting the shop on fire. I wish Rock was in here to at least help me close this out with something. You want to take Rock's spot and give me something? It's lunchtime. All right, he's ready to eat. All right. You want to close it out?
Well, I mean, yeah. Huge thank you to everybody that makes this deal possible. I couldn't do what I'm doing without you guys. You see more of me on the camera. You know, like he said, it's easier to get on camera after you're on top of the world than it is whenever you've made a mistake on the racetrack that you've got to sit on camera and say, well, we got a good car, we put together a good night, and I just, you know,
Yeah.
it's a lot easier to handle that kind of stuff. I don't know.
I think being consistent is the key, and that goes for even when you're bad, you gotta talk about it.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see y'all. Thank
Later.
you.